Yo! Oh, let me turn this back on. Yo! What's up, bitches? It's Kayla. We're back. Better than ever. Literally the best. With SPC season number 5, draft breakdown, coach of the Westview Meowstics. I nearly forgot what I was gonna say. I'm going to live in a state. Oh my god, who did that? Not me. Apologize first and foremost if you hear me eating. Yeah, I forgot to eat breakfast. It's like, so whoopsie on my part, but we're back, don't worry about it. I mean, since I've uploaded, I don't know. I'm hoping I'm uploading this day of recording, which is the 22nd of September. I forgot to do a draft breakdown. I've been busy the past week. I forgot about it in the moment, and then I never remembered in the upcoming weeks to do one, and I'm sorry about that. I'm very sorry. Wasn't trying to make a statement or anything like that. Yeah. Okay, perfect. On our first guy. What's the first Pokemon in the dex? But, actually 108 is my bad. I was gonna try and speedrun this, and we are 2 minutes in, and I haven't said one Pokemon name nor the rules. You guys don't know SPC. Wi-Fi League, I think this is my 3rd season. First season, made playoffs, won a game, I'm pretty sure. Last season, I don't think was good. I think it was, I'll call it. It was that team with, like, Zen, like, Superior, and then I dropped, like, all of them, and then I, like, Darkrai was on the team, Glow King was on the team. So that team wasn't great. I don't remember it doing well. I think it got 2 wins or 3 wins or something. This is the 3rd season. I have high expectations. I especially like this team, but we first have to go over the rules because SPC is fun because it will usually either be your standard regular draft league. Also, shout out to Nico Ryan for, putting it all together and like much appreciate it and very much appreciate the opportunity. Now I've done ASL for, 2 seasons now, and I've done this for 3 seasons, but very fun, always a pleasure, always a great opportunity, and always fun, so, I like the rules. I like the rules usually, because usually the rules are cool. I'm gonna eat. Give me a second. Alright, usually the rules are cool. Usually the rules are really cool. There's usually item clause, species clause is usual, but, like, item clause, there's Terra gimmicks usually every time, there's Terra gimmicks this time. Pull up the rules. Usually I think we did level 50, but now we're back to level 100. I should have had this. I have my team pulled out, but I don't have. And I'm also doing my draft breakdown post transactions I made. And this includes post week 1 transactions, because yes, I'm filming this after week 1. 8 weeks, I think that's standard uploading. There's no deadline for uploading, which I hate because I'm not going to upload. That's a lie if you're seeing this, because then I did upload and that would be a contradiction, and then logically that wouldn't make a lot of sense. DC is lost, all that stuff. Terapagos is banned, and Reggie, Alecki, and Superior may Terra once, but cannot be Terra recycled for playoffs. We will get into that. Points 10 Mons, you have to have 10 Mons, slow draft. All of this is like standard 8 playoff teams total. I did not know that. How many teams are there? Oh, there's only 16? I thought usually we had a little bit more than that. Or usually we had 2 divisions, so I lied. It's pretty standard, at least for this. 2018, 16, 14, etc. And then at the end we have 2 and 1 pointers. We have to have 10 months. So with that all out of the way, hopefully, we can get into the main gimmick of this league. And that is Terra. Of course it's Terra, but it's Terra, and it's Terra Recycle. Let me put it to you like this. On Terra, except Terapagos. And then, Regieleki and Superior Terra. Once not recyclable. Every Mon will be only allowed to Terra once. When playoffs come, I believe you only can recycle 1 Mon's Terra. You don't have to Terra at all. I'm honestly not planning to Terra unless I am legally obligated to Terra. Yeah, you get Chiempao and Terra Chiempao, and you can. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. You do stuff like that, right? Ogre Pawns, right? They can Terra. Everything can Terra except for Terapagos, and everything can be once it's terra'd and postseasons come around, can be recycled except for Regieleki and Superior. I did not draft any of those 3 mons, but I thought I'd, in case you watch this and then you watch if I play those coaches, whatever have you. Yeah, I'm here, I'm ready. Have a lot of fun stuff. My team's a little very weak. I'll give you like a review of what I think my team's weak to and what I think my team does extremely well. I think my team is very weak to fairy. Bam in particular. I think I have a lot of really good tanks, but fairies are like only ones where I'm like, oh shit, like we'll have to Terra them on for like a Fable matchup or Emerus, right? I will have to Terra for those matchups because my steel type is not specially defensive and my poison type arc type, so spoiler, that cancels out and I don't really have a fairy. Resist, I have tanks that can tank fairy hits, but I don't have not very effective sponges, so besides mons that aren't really gonna do it, and you'll see what I mean. So, with the first pick of the draft, and by first pick I mean 14th or 15th pick of the draft, I'm just gonna go, know my first 2 picks, I don't remember the order I went in, I'm just going from top to bottom of like picked. So, Jesus Christ, with that all out of the way, and that 8-minute introduction, hopefully I put a timestamp here or something. First pick was not Kabuto, surprisingly. It was Landorus. So this mon, again, can Terra once, can be Terra recycled, same with the next mon. I should just put, because I had wheel pick, right? So, we got Ogerpon, Hearthflame. I think it's insane that both of these mons can Terra. Ogerpon, as someone said in PRs, can literally just win me a game. Like, I can just Terra with it and just win the game. Like, incredible mon. It's, I don't want to say cheat code, but it's damn good. It is a damn good mon. So, all those guys are gonna be season carriers. Landorus is really, this music's crazy, by the way. I'm gonna take a little bite. Landorus is, interesting. My 2 favorite sets are, like, Lando and Scarf Lando. I don't really like Nasty Plot. I've never been a big fan of setup on mons that can't really tank hints that well. Like at 89, 90, 80, and bulk is like, it's good and it can take a hit, but 101 is not fast anymore, right? It's not speeding your, I don't even know what's 100 speed. What's 100 speed nowadays? Charizard's. Alright, well Charizard's not really talented. Let's say some base 100s. Can we get some base 100 loves? Or like Hydreigon, I would consider Hydreigon in there. The Tauroses, Zapdos, Mew, Entei, Gardevoirs, Salamences, right? Volcaronas, Palafins, like, that's priority. But Toedscruel, Comfey, like, Chi-Yu, it gets the jump on a lot of, like, mons, which is cool. And Rachi, too, is a really nice one. I like Scarf because it hits hard and it can be a late game sweeper, it could be cleaner, it can, well, I mean, that's like the same thing, right? Knows what Landorus does, and it gets rocks, which is awesome. And Ogerpon, which is just hit hard. I thought these 2 mons complemented each other extremely well. Landorus is going to struggle with flying types, which honestly doesn't really make sense me bringing that up, but whatever. Struggle with flying types, is gonna struggle with levitator. By the way, Ogerpon has Mold Breaker, so get wrecked. Gonna struggle with grass types, it's gonna struggle, there we go, we're getting the bulky waters, I feel like could be an issue. Ogerpon not only complements it extremely well in a lot of those weaknesses, I hope a lot of those weaknesses, also hits on the physical side, so anything that would specially take Landorus, I turn on, I could just hard switch into, I can pivot and get an Ogerpon, and boom, now I have another matchup where I'm like, okay, restrictions, obviously there's a lot more to that, but pretty much the bare bones of it, right? Good speed tier, 110. Were my 2 fastest mons before transaction, which is hilarious, but that's the state of the world. Everyone knows what Ogerpon, offensive threat, you get the attack boost, into setup, you could just trailblaze, and then, if I do consider that, I'm probably gonna Terra this mon twice, in playoffs, and in the regular season, yeah. We have Earthworm, which does have Shed Tail, it's 10 points, and, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever bring Shed Tail. I know people were like, oh, like, should be great, and it would be awesome, and, you know, about this, and Rocks, and Landorus, and all of that stuff, and I'm kind of side of, like, Not really planning to use Shedtail that much. I might bring it every week. I might have it on. I might be running Citrus every week and have Shedtail on the side, but like, one is amazing on the defensive side. I want to be able to take advantage of that, especially because I think types, rock types, you know, what these two mons are weak to both. Oh no, they're not. I thought they both shared a weakness, but gets a lot of like ice resistance. It gets the poison immunity. Wait, yeah, immunity. It gets flying resist. It gets rock resist. It kind of all the resist I wanted from the physical side. It pairs well with my next pick, which is Primarina, one of my favorite mons of all time, design-wise and competitively, which is always a bonus. This thing was blessed with a lot of new tools. Flip turn. I don't know if it had it last generation, but it does have it now. But Alluring Voice and Psychic Voice are two really good options. They're not really something you might do. I think it got Stored Power too. I'm pretty sure it got Stored Power. I feel like Primarina's kit is now really... It's really good for Draft League because you can shut down tanks with Psychic Noise. You can play offensive, you can play AV, you can play Calm Mind. Hell, physical shit could work. Triple Axle, Play Rough. This one gets Play Rough, right? I'm not just speaking out of my ass. I might just be speaking out of my ass. I'm not. Play Rough, Triple Axle, Flip Turn, Aqua Jet, or Liquidation, or, you know, whatever. You can switch an Ice Spinner instead. Like, this one has a lot of tools, and I really, really like that about this mod. Also has Amnesia, which I think is fucking crazy, but whatever. Icy Wind is cool. They have the best recovery, which is what holds it back, but Draining Kiss is really good for it. So there's a lot of positives. I feel like there's a lot of positives. Primarina. It's also really, I feel like Earthworm and Primarina are really good together. It can cover the fire. It can cover, or sorry, it can cover the grass. Like, covers fighting. Earthworm covers the poison. And yeah, just complement. They share some resistances, which is always nice. Like, what's an example? Like ice resistance. That's really good. Having one on the physical, having one on special. I don't really need to be concerned. Bug is always bug, but dragon is really nice to have both. So like Kasui or regular, like dragon, something like that, where Hydreigon can do both physical and special, right? I have to worry about both of those. Earthworm and Primarina can cover both of those. So you get what I mean. I really like that pair, and I think that all of these guys, the core four is probably going to be coming to most games, if not every game. Didn't come last week, but that's besides the point. These three mons did. So next we have the first transaction. I don't think I only used one of the mons. That was, yeah, I only used one of these guys, or not one of these guys. I used Solari, which is replaced by something else. That was the only mon I used that was transferred, but I really like. I don't know why I didn't pick it up the first time around. Because first off, ground. I'm very ground weak, like in general, so that's a thing. But also, Landorus doesn't have flying type moves, right? I could Terra flying, I could do that. Terra any of these guys flying, but I don't have like Hurricaner. I don't have a Brave Birder. I'm using a Brave Bird, but you get what I mean, right? I don't have that actual offensive flying type. And Noivern can provide that, right? It gets Boom Burst, right? There's a lot of Terra sets. I'm not really mentioning Terra sets mainly because I'm not planning to Terra as much as a lot of other coaches, but, Boom Burst is a thing. Turn to defensive types, right? I like this one because it's fighting resistant. I needed that especially just for like, but this team's also not really fighting resist, or fighting weak, which is really nice. It's Ice Weak, that's 4 times Ice Weak mons, but with Earthworm and Primarina coming almost every game, not too concerned. They can also Terra out of the type. So Noivern, defensive, bulky, pivot, Super Fang, right? There's a lot of stuff you could do with it. So I like it. Hitmontop is going to be my rapid spinner. I want us to focus on actually getting a usable... I'm sorry, I'm eating between. I'm trying to eat after each Pokemon mentioned. I really like Hitmontop. I think it's a lot of really cool tools. I specifically wanted something that could punish ghost types. And while you might be like, oh, Hitmontop doesn't really do that, yeah, Steve. Get pranked, buddy. That's my plan with him on top, right? I want it to be really a spinner. I want it to do that stuff. It can clean, it can whatever, scarf, right? It has tools. I don't know how often it's gonna come just because it's fucking Hitmontop, but like, I think it's a good mon. I think it will have weeks where like actually usable for this team. And wanted more tanks this time because like there's a lot of tanks on this team. And that's by design because I want this team to be able to take a lot of hits, to be able to pivot into other mons. My first two mons are literally like best breakers in the game, right? Arguably the best breakers besides like it's crazy. And on top of that, they're also both not rock resistant, right? I'm not a fighting type where I'm taking neutral. It's not like a pure ground type where, or not neutral, but like, you know what I mean, right? Or like Cobalion, right? With the fighting steel type. I'm not taking rock resistant damage. I am avoiding spikes with one of them, which is really nice, but want to be able to clean. Oh, that was one thing I forgot to mention. Noivern has defog, right? I'm not going. Yeah, Noivern has defog, so want to make sure like this stuff are not something I have to worry about. That's why Hitmontop is here. Originally, I didn't have a defogger, so very very nice. Is the next mon that was been for Slowbro Galar. Did I say Slowking earlier? Slowbro Galar. Poison dark types, man, they're probably my favorite type combo in the game. Like, type fire, water, fairy, one of those, right? That's my top three as of right now. Maybe grass type, Stipplin, definitely up there for me. Hydropple is one of my favorite designed Pokemon. Poison darks competitively are my favorite Pokemon typing. Like, this is it's such a fun type. Them are just special walls that are just crazy and can do physical damage. Resistant, ghost resistant, dark resistant, and poison resistant, and grass resistant, right? Those are all special types. So it's built for it, right? You could run Black Sludge, Knockoff. I'm hoping this, yeah, off. Haze is usually a fun ability. Gets fire coverage now, so it could actually hit grass types. What am I talking about? So it could hit steel types. Toxic on a steel type, and then Temper Flare. Like, is a legit thing I could run. It's gonna take a lot. I think it fits the team naturally. That's why I, it up. Next, we have the next two mons. Oh wait, this guy goes with the other mon. Bruxish. I love Bruxish. I think it's super underrated, especially with Terra. Lower tiers, you have to specifically be looking for mons. Like, can they make an impact with or without Terra? I tried focusing on, for the most part, right? I think there's only one exception, which will be the last Pokemon. But I want to make sure every mon on this team can function without Terra. That was a big... Bruxish is especially good because, first of all, it's another cleaner and another breaker in one, right? Landorus, Ogerpon, and Bruxish can all function as breakers or cleaners, and that's what I'm looking for. That is especially this mon gets Sword Dance. I'm like, I don't know what I'm thinking of, but has Nasty Plot and Calm Mind. Ogerpon has Swords Dance. Bruxish is the only one that's like, okay, I guess it has Bulk Up, but like, really like, okay, this breaker, this is just gonna do mad damage. And why is it gonna do mad damage? Why, you might ask? Strongjaw is an insane ability, right? 105 attack isn't a ton, I'm not gonna lie. It's not 120, it's not, but it still hurts. And with Terra, that's only gonna make it even harder to hit, or whatever. Especially has a good speed tier because if you scarf it, you're gonna be outspeeding. I think you outspeed Pull. I could be wrong with that, but really good speed tier, nice speed tier. It's Ice Fang, so it could actually hit Pull. It's Psychic Fang, which is like, it's even stronger than a Wave Crash, which this mon got. So like, mon got a ton of just under the radar buffs that I think will really help it. It also has some utility, just in case for funsies, if you want to bring in, I don't know, like other type, I can Super Fang it, I can Pain Split on it, I can turn on it, like a lot of cool things that Brooks is. Oh no, it does have Sword Stance. I fucking lied. It does have Sword Stance. So it's just a good mon in my opinion. It gives me a physical water type to duality with Primarina, and that's one of my favorite things besides the fighting Psychic Dark Core, which you didn't think I'd mention, but I did because it also completes that core. By the way, I think this was the last mon for those cores, so we'll not be talking. I didn't talk about any cores because I don't Personally, this team doesn't really fit those besides the Fairy Dragon Steel one. My Fire Water Grass is a lot more offensively based. Even if you put Primarina in there, it's still a very offensive mon with that special attack stat. But yeah. So yeah, Bruxus, cleaner, great mon. Next we have Bellybolt, one of my fucking favorite Pokemon to run in competitive battling. I feel like it has a lot of tools. Just this past week, I did run Electric Terrain on it. Like Claw for just boosting the special attack stat, Terra Electric, or not Thunder, Charge, and Soft, right? Like crazy. This mon is insane, and this is Draining Kiss, right? This is Draining Kiss, or it's like a slightly whatever. Can Terra, it really good as a Terra option, but it doesn't have to Terra because it's only weak to ground. So, and this team has 3 ground resists, 2 of which are, I would say, good ground resists, or ground immunities, I should say. I don't have ground resist, which is really funny to think about, but I'm not gonna think about. But again, it can always Terra Fly, it could always do a lot of stuff, so. Last mon is Sudowoodo. Now guys, you're gonna have to hear me out on this. I was looking at my team, and if you've been keeping track, my only rocks I have so far are Lando, Earthworm, and now Sudowoodo. Why did I pick up Sudowoodo, right? What is on the board for 4 points that also gets rocks? I'm not going to go down to 2. I feel like that's a waste of a pick, and you want me to draft Bastiodon, Camera, like, I'm not. At least Sudowoodo has niches, right? I know of Sudowoodo's niches. But what gets rocks here? Vespiquen gets spikes. It gets spikes since he spikes. Ops gets... Does it get spikes? I know it gets sticky web. Doesn't get rocks. Sawsbucks doesn't get rocks. Rhydon gets rocks. I already have a ground type that's offensive. I don't have a rock type, but still, it still doesn't feel like a good pick. It's Terramon. You have to Terra with Rhydon. You can't. Rock ground is a okay defensive type, but as soon as a water hits the field, as soon as a grass type hits the field, you're fucked. So I'm not a fan of Rhydon. Quillfish was something I was considering. Doesn't get rock, but spikes is definitely nice. I think it has flip turn now. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. It should have flip turn, in my opinion. Probopass, again, this is another Terramon. You have to Terra with this mon. It is a forced Terra. It's also got quad weaknesses all around the board, which is not great. Rangaroo, Meganium, Luxray, they don't get it. Lilligant, Leavanny gets webs, but no thank you. I don't think this team needs webs. And I have Defog, so there's, like, if I'm bringing Defog or Rabbits, I'm most of the time going to be bringing Defog. So that doesn't make sense. Komala was something I was considering. I want rocks. I want an emphasis. At least one mon that can come and you're like, okay, mon's going to set up rocks. Avalok doesn't get rocks. Crabominal, Cramorant, Dugtrio gets rocks. Again, it's one of those mons. Super frail. It's not quad weak to anything, but it's super frail. It's a lead. It's not gonna do a ton of work. It was a mon I was considering. Dunsparce I was definitely considering. It gives me a ghost resistant. And Glare has a lot of utility. So we have unlimited transactions. So we'll see how Sudowoodo does. But be a mon I'm definitely looking at. Play a role. It was a mon I was looking at before I made any transactions while I was drafting, and points didn't work out. But now that points do work out, might be a mon I'm considering now. We'll see. Besides that, Ice Cube, Dusclops, Electabuzz, Electrode, Executor, Flareon, Girafarig, Glaceon, Golem, again, same weaknesses. Gothorita, Greedon, Hitmon, like none of these mons get rocks. And if they do, they're weak to something, with the exception of Dunsparce. So why Sudowoodo? Again, I really like Sudowoodo because it gets sturdy. That was the main emphasis. I wanted to for sure get rocks up where, okay, if a mon uses Arm Thrust or Unaxle, right, they're going to break the sturdy and they could kill me in that turn. But it's not likely. This defense is crazy. On a mon where I know for sure I can get rocks up. This mon can also Terra, it can Terra Grass, Trailblaze, do that fun stuff we've all played. Windshield. Scarlet and Violet, we all remember whatever the Grass Gym leader's name is. We remember he brings in Sudowoodo and he just clicks Terra Grass Trailblaze. This mon also has Rockhead and Wood Hammer and the other one Head Smash. So this mon has good abilities. Rattled, alright, I'm not gonna lie, Rattled is maybe if it had like speed, but Rattled's a pretty shit ability. But Sturdy and Rockhead, really good Terra options, gives me a lead rock setter. Someone wants to prep against it, that's fine. I'm fine with playing 5 down. I have 3 offensive mons that should be able to pick apart whatever comes in, and I have momentum. So, usually I don't like drafting a mon that, hey, it is literally only going to be lead rocks. Like, this is my only plan with Pseudo Budo, is this mon gets sturdy, lead rocks, and it could, not bury shenanigans, right? That was literally my only reason I drafted Pseudo Budo. I don't usually do that, for good reason, because it's never bring that mon, or Sparks exist, or Flareon exists, right? A mon that could better take advantage that you might bring more weeks. Spite ups too. But Pseudo Wudo, for this team specifically, I have Bruxish that wants to... I have Lando Eye, Ogerpon, Bruxish, throw in Terra Normal, Noivern, throw in Scarf Primarina, or Terra Primarina, Hitmontop, throw in, hell, fucking Banded Skuntank, or Belly Bolt if it gets charged and its specs and whatnot. I have mons that can take advantage of rocks feeding off momentum. So I'm personally okay with Pseudo Wudo. I think it's fine for this team, and that's why I drafted it. I didn't think it would be the longest segment, but yeah, so this is the team we're rocking with. You can see all the guys are being guys. His item clause, like I said, was not as bad as you might think, especially Ogerpon having to take up an item slot is really nice because it really allows Lando Eye to do whatever it wants, and it also allows Bruxish to do whatever it wants, right? Unless, I want to run one Scarf, I don't want to run the other Scarf, then, alright, we might have a problem. But, for the most part, Bruxish is going to be mainly Scarf, or Banded, or, I don't know, Cobra Berry, or something like that, right? Meanwhile, Landorus is going to be Scarf, okay? Life Orb, Bex, Dovers, Boots, right? It's going to be running a lot of different stuff. So, Ogerpon, really helpful for, stopgap, because, why am I saying this, right? None of those correlated besides Scarf. Well, Ogerpon would usually be running Banded, which, that. Scarf, which hurts both of them. It could be running Boots, which, again, hurts both of them. Or at least hurts Landorus a little bit more. Run into issues, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I would be running into a lot of issues with these two. There's flies in my room. Kill me. It really frees up the offense, right? Defensively, alright, one mon's gonna have leftovers. I like having defensive poison types so that, hey, you can run Black Sludge if need be. Again, I'm not planning to Terra a ton, so that is fine to me, running Black Sludge, or like Poison Primer and Black Sludge, or Terra Poison, like that. Might be running Booze a lot. Can run leftovers, I can run AV, I can run, I can run specs, I can do a lot of stuff. AV, this is perennial AV, leftovers, Orb with Draining Kiss, Lock-on Berry, Rindo, like, what else does this mon me to, I forget, is it Koba? No, Koba's flying. It's like Pes, not a Pyappa. What am I thinking? What am I thinking of? I don't know what I'm thinking of. But it's a poison type berry, right? I think I'm making that especially clear. Where is this berry? Now I need to know what this berry is. What is it called? Cabia. I was close. I thought it was E something. But yeah, I really like this team. I think this team has a lot of strengths that I can incorporate. The first week didn't go well. You'll see exactly why it did not go well, but that will never happen again because this team is a lot. In my opinion, I think this team is insanely better. Like, I made this team a lot better. So, hopefully that will never happen again. It shouldn't happen again. If it does happen again, I don't know, I'll do something. But, I'm really happy with this team. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of meh stuff, but a lot of good stuff. And, for watching, I know this was a long one. I'm hopefully going to cut it down, but thank you for watching. Have a great one, and peace.